Hello everyone, I am Naveen Sharma teaching environmental sciences at Government Degree College Thana Mandi. Today I am here with you to discuss a very important topic that is solid waste, its concept and current scenario. Before going into detail, it is very important to understand the concept of the term solid waste. Solid waste is basically the heterogeneous mass of discarded material. As we know that solid waste is not comprises of only single type of the waste. Different varieties of the waste are dumped, are generated from different sources. So it is known as the heterogeneous mass. In uh, in other words, we can say it as solid waste is the unwanted or useless solid materials generated from human activities in residential, industrial, or commercial areas. And this solid waste is categorized in three ways depending upon its origin, the contents of the waste, and their hazard potential. Depending upon the origin of the waste, the solid waste can be of domestic waste, industrial waste, commercial waste, construction waste, or institutional waste. And depending upon the content of the waste, it can be organic waste, it can be glass waste, metal waste, plastic waste, or paper waste. And depending upon the hazard potential of the waste, it can be toxic in nature, it can be non-toxin, flammable, radioactive, or any other infectious type of the waste. There are various factors that contributes to the generation of the solid waste. There are major few factors which are responsible for the more generation of the waste nowadays, and the first factor, the first reason is spiraling population growth rate. It, as we know that population is increasing day by day in exponential manner, and when there is more number of individuals, then there is more requirement of the resources. And when there is more utilization of resources, there will be more generation of the solid waste. Then second part is rapid urbanization. As we know that people are moving from rural area to urban area, and in the urban areas to avail the facilities uh, and to avail the facilities and different facilities like transportation means they are nearer to the markets, educational institutions, and other infrastructures. So there is the trend of the utilization of the packed materials, and when we use the materials for our needs, then there will be the generation of the solid waste. Then other reason is changing lifestyles, consumption patterns of the individuals, public indifferences, inadequate government policies. These are the major reasons for the generation of the solid waste. Next thing is, if I classify the waste according to their origin and the type, it can be are of different types. It can be municipal solid waste, and this solid waste category includes garbage, rubbish, construction and demolition debris, sanitization residues, packaging material, trade refuse, and second category is biomedical waste. It includes solid, liquid, or any other containers, and the products generated during diagnosis, treatment, and research activities in medical department. Third category is industrial waste. It includes semi-solids, solid waste, and which is generated by the manufacturing and processing units. Then there is agricultural waste. It is mostly of are of the biodegradable type. Then there is radioactive waste. Different type of the radioisotopes are used in nuclear reactors, and other nuclear weapons, and these wastes are considered as the radioactive waste. Then there is e-waste category, that is electronic waste. Electronic waste, this is a major, nowadays it is a major type of the waste, and the government itself is focusing to manage on the e-waste. And in this e-waste, as we know that we are living in modernized area, in the industrialized area, in the industrialized era, and in this era, we are using different type of the electronic gadgets, electronic devices to make our work easy. And when such type of electronic devices are not in functional or discarded means, and they are considered as the e-waste. There is hierarchy, uh, and this picture shows here that there are different type of the processes, and these arrows shows that at the uppermost part there is the method is prevention, and this is the most preferable part of the management of the solid waste, and minimization, reuse, recycling, energy recovery, and the last one is disposal. If we focused if we focus on the first part, that is prevention and minimization, it means if we are not generating the waste, then there is no need of the disposal of the solid waste. So it's better to reduce the waste at the source. This is the concept of the three R's. And uh, next thing is, if I talk about the management of the waste, simply it includes the generation of the waste, collection of the waste, then there is segregation of the waste, then storage, transportation, and last one is the disposal of the solid waste. And disposal includes open dumping, which is least preferred method of the solid waste disposal, and it is applied only in India, and it is not a best method of solid waste management. Then there is sanitary landfilling, incineration, compositing of the biodegradable waste, pyrolysis, then size reduction, shredding, grinding, pulverizing. So now I am coming to the part of the current scenario. As we know that population is increasing, urbanization is increasing, standard of the living is also increasing due to the technological innovation. At the global level, it is estimated that 12 billion tons are the waste is generated, and out of this 12 billion, 11 billion tons is are of industrial waste, and 1.6 billion were the municipal solid waste. So I have compared in this table the different status of the major nations depend on, and their per capita per day generation of the waste in kgs. So in India, it is 0.40 to 0.60 kg of the waste is generated per day by per capita, and in USA it is 1.25 to 2.25 kg of the waste per capita per day is generated, and Japan is generating 1 to 1.20 kg per capita per day of the waste. Here in this table, uh, I have mentioned here few states of the India, their tons per day generation of the waste. And the first one is here I have mentioned Gujarat. It is generating 7379 tons per day of the waste. And similarly, I have mentioned Maharashtra. It is generating 19,204 tons per day of the waste. So from all these slides we are very much aware about this thing, that the waste is not a localized waste generation, and waste disposal is not a localized problem. It is not restricted to a particular state, particular nation. but it is a worldwide problem, and we must focus upon the proper management of the waste. And yes, in the last slide, I have quoted one line that it is the time to rethink before generating waste. Otherwise, life with unplanned solid waste disposal is beyond expectations. Thank you. Have a nice day.